Okay, this is going to be a video response to Chris Morgan Pipes for his, I guess it was his contest anyway. I can't remember what the number was on it. He wanted to know what our most prized possession was. Well, if I can get this video displaced together, I showed my two rifles. And those two rifles kind of got a story behind them. One is a rifle that I built, and the other one is a rifle that I restored and recovered. It was a basket case piece of junk rifle that, due to circumstances, I reconditioned it and got it back into shooting condition. If you look at the two rifles, the one rifle that has the big peep sight on it, the shorter stock, that's the one that I built. That's a Schutzen rifle. I built that. I used to shoot muzzleloading competitions years ago. I don't anymore. There are no real competitions left anymore to shoot. It's kind of a sport that's died out for the most part. There's a few left around yet, but it with the price of gas and the amount of traveling you got to do, it's ridiculous to. I used to actually make, well, I wouldn't say I made a living at it, but I made good enough money doing it that it paid for my driving and my gunpowder and lead and stuff for going out and doing the shoots. Well, it doesn't anymore. But that rifle was built for shooting nationals and different local matches in the Schutzen class, or offhand class rifles that allowed peep sights. The other rifle is an old Navy Arms, you want to call it a Kentucky or Pennsylvania class rifle. It's a full wood stock. That's an open sight rifle. And I bought that because I was shooting my Schutzen rifle at all these matches, and everybody was kind of getting what do I want to say? Because I shot national matches and most of these other guys didn't, they were saying that I had advantage because of the rifle that I was using. Well, there's really nothing special about either one of these rifles. I mean, they're pretty much all parts and stuff that you can go out and buy, and you can put your, it wasn't anything that was all that special. But anyway, so I decided that being that these guys were complaining, I'd get a rifle that anybody could go out and buy, and that's why I got that Navy Arms Kentucky rifle or Pennsylvania rifle. And I got that rifle. It was all rust inside the barrel. It looked like it was growing mold inside the barrel. It was so bad. The outside of the rifle, for the most part, was in fairly good shape. The lock was in good shape. The sight was broke off from it. So I went and I took the gun apart and I cleaned it all up, and I lapped the barrel out and polished the barrel. The barrel, I wound up getting it to polish just like glass inside. And the funny part to the story is why that rifle means so much to me is the fact that we shot these matches every month at this club that I was shooting at. And so I took that rifle out there to stop the complaining, and it was a rifle that anybody else could go out and buy. It was a cheap rifle. I think I only paid like $30 for that rifle when I bought it. The other rifle I have considerably more money into it, the one that I built, but I went out and I won the match the next month with that rifle, and I beat him a couple other months after that. I either wound up placing first or second in the matches. I wound up placing second in a couple big matches with that rifle. And it was just funny that these guys were complaining so bad about me shooting match rifles, and it wasn't the rifle that was doing the winning. It was the fact that I spent a lot of time shooting, and it's just like your pipe making or anything else that you do. You don't get better at it if you don't go out and practice. The more you practice, the better you get, and that's kind of why those two rifles mean so much to me. Those two rifles made me some pretty good money years ago. I keep them just because they have special meaning to me. I got a lot of nicky-nacky things that my pipe collection and other things that I've saved over the years, but those two rifles mean quite a bit to me, especially that one that was only a $30 rifle. It still made me some pretty good money at the matches. It was a cheap rifle that I just fixed up and spent some time practicing shooting with it, and got good enough with it that it took me a couple weeks to get good with the rifle, work up some loads for it, and I still wound up winning the matches. So it was kind of fun. That I tried to explain to the guys that it wasn't the rifle that made the shots. It's the amount of time you put into practicing to get you to know what you're doing, and that's what makes you win a match. It's just like I said, just like making good pipes or good furniture, or any kind of thing like that you're working with a skill. You got to put the time in, and the more you practice, the better you get. Some people aren't willing to put in the time, and that's kind of why that thing means, both those rifles mean a lot to me. I've got other ones that I've got some really old stuff that I've gotten over the years I've got some old rifles from my grandfather and from my dad, and those mean a lot to me too, but these were ones that I used that were keep a lot of memories for me because of all of the friends that I made with them, people that I got to know, fun that I had teasing people with them. I always enjoy taking something that, when somebody tells me that you can't do it, or especially when somebody tells me I can't do it, that's when I like to go out and find a way to make it work, because I've done that with a lot of different things that I've worked with over the years, that people tell you that you got to have this fancy this and this fancy that, and in order to be able to make it work. And if you're willing to put the time into it and a little bit of knowledge, spend the time to do a little research and stuff, you can make a lot of things that aren't supposed to work. And you can't always depend upon what somebody else has designed or somebody else's ideas. I mean, you can use somebody else's ideas to some extent to learn from, but then you got to go out and make it work for yourself, and that's what I've always enjoyed. So that's my entry to your contest, for whatever it's worth. If I can ever get this all spliced together so that it shows, that's the story. Like I said, there's a lot of other things. Like a lot of guys said, their family. Well, my family does mean a lot to me, but I think he was looking for things. Well, these aren't real old things, but they're well, it depends upon how. I'm not young either, but they were things that I had fun with that hold memories for me. So that's what I put in there. For what it's worth, we'll see you later.